You ever see someone who's just incredible at what they do, like truly at the top of their game, and you just have to wonder, how on earth did they get there? Well, today we're going to break that down. We're going to look at the psychological roadmap to mastery and figure out what it really takes to unlock that kind of high performance. I mean, it's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point, right? What is it that separates the people who stick with their goals from those who just don't? Why do some people power through the tough stuff while others seem to hit a wall? The answer, and this is the cool part, isn't just about raw talent or getting lucky. It really comes down to having the right set of psychological tools. Okay, so here's the game plan for our journey today. We're going to start with the absolute foundation, which is having a growth mindset. Then we'll talk about the fuel for the journey, passion, and perseverance. After that, we need an engine, and we'll look at the limits of willpower. And our destination, finding that amazing state of flow. And stick around, because at the end, we'll talk about how you can build your own path to mastery. All right, let's dive in. First stop on our journey, the foundation. And it all starts with what you believe about yourself. I mean, think about it. Before you can learn a new skill or build a new habit, your head has to be in the right place. Your mindset is literally the ground floor for everything that comes next. So this really boils down to two totally different ways of looking at yourself. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset. This is the belief that you're kind of stuck with what you've got. You're either good at math or you're not. You're a natural artist or you're not. The story's already written. But then you have the growth mindset. And this just flips the whole script. It says, hey, your abilities aren't set in stone. It's the belief that you can get better, smarter, more skilled through sheer effort and practice. So, what's the big idea that makes this whole shift possible? What's the one core belief that changes everything and unlocks all that potential? Well, it comes from some amazing research out of Stanford. And here it is, straight from the source, psychologist Carol Dweck. Growth mindset is the belief that the ability to learn isn't fixed. It can change with your effort. That's it right there. The key word is effort. It's the simple but profound belief that the work you put in actually changes your abilities. Once you get that, challenges stop being scary threats. They become opportunities to get better. Okay, so you've got your foundation poured. You've got the growth mindset. You believe you can improve. That's huge. But look, the road to getting really good at something, it's a long one. And for a long haul like that, belief isn't quite enough. You need fuel in the tank to keep you going, especially when things get tough. And that fuel has a name, grit. This comes from researcher Angela Lee Duckworth, and she defines it as passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. It's not about being intense for a week or a month. It's about having stamina for the long game. It's about seeing life as a marathon, not a sprint. And check this out. Grit isn't just a nice idea. It's a powerful predictor of success. We're talking about real-world results. Grittier kids, they're way more likely to graduate. At the super tough West Point Military Academy, grit predicts who sticks around. Even in the National Spelling Bee, it predicts who goes the furthest. But here's the kicker, the part that's just mind-blowing. Grit often has nothing to do with talent. Sometimes the most talented people are the least gritty. It's not about what you're born with. It's about your willingness to just keep going. Okay, so let's keep building this out. We have the foundation, our mindset. We have the fuel, our grit. So what's next? Well, you need an engine to actually use that fuel and move forward. And that engine is your willpower. And the thing about engines is, they can run out of gas. There's a fascinating concept for this called ego depletion. The best way to think about it is this. Your willpower isn't some infinite source of moral strength. It's more like the battery on your phone. Every time you use self-control, like you resist that cookie, or you force yourself to study, or you make a tough decision, you're using up a little bit of that battery. So if that willpower battery is limited, how do we stop it from dying on us all the time? Well, it's about being smart. True self-regulation has 4 key ingredients. You need clear standards, that's your goal. You need to monitor your behavior to see if you're on track. You need that willpower, obviously, that's the strength to act. And finally, you need the motivation, the desire to hit your goal. When you have all 4, you use that battery way more efficiently. And get this battery idea isn't just a metaphor, it's real. Scientific studies have actually shown that when you use self-control, your brain is literally burning through its main fuel source, which is blood glucose. So yeah, staying on track takes actual physical energy. It means managing your willpower isn't just a mind game. You have to manage your body too. So let's recap. We've got the foundation of mindset, we've got the fuel of grit, and we have a well-managed engine of willpower. When you get all those things working together, that's when you can finally reach the destination. And that destination is an incredible state of optimal performance that psychologists call flow. Have you ever been so into something that the rest of the world just melts away? That's flow. The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who pioneered this idea, describes it as being so involved in what you're doing that nothing else seems to matter. Time gets all weird, it might speed up or slow down. It's that amazing zone where peak performance actually feels effortless.
So, how do you get there? Well, you can't just flip a switch. Flow happens in a very specific sweet spot. A great analogy is playing a video game, right? If the level is way too easy, you get bored out of your mind. But if it's crazy difficult, you just get anxious and frustrated. Flow lives right on that perfect edge between boredom and anxiety.
Yeah, that's the key right there. Flow happens in the area just beyond your current skill level. It's not about doing what's easy, it's about pushing yourself, stretching your abilities just a little past your comfort zone. That's the magic zone where you're not only performing at your best, but you're also growing. So there you have it. That's the whole psychological journey. It all starts with the belief that you can grow. It's fueled by the grit to keep going. It's powered by an engine of well-managed willpower. And it all leads to that peak experience of flow. So now, let's wrap this all up into a simple, practical toolkit that you can start using today. All right, if you want to create more flow in your life, here are 3 simple action steps. Number 1, set a clear goal. You have to know exactly what you're aiming for. Number 2, measure your progress. You need to see that you're improving. That's what keeps you locked in. And number 3, raise the stakes. As soon as you get comfortable, you have to push the boundary just a little bit further. That's how you stay in the zone. So we've laid out the entire map for you, from a growth mindset to grit to willpower, all the way to flow. You've seen the path to high performance. Now the only question left is, what journey are you going to begin?